On this episode of American Detour, we're going to be getting our 1978 Chevy C30 crew cab dually running and driving for the first time in 3 years. First of all, it doesn't sit right up here because the hinges are screwed until you push it down, and then it's all bent and cracked in the middle. So we're gonna take that off because one, I need to be able to get to the bell housing bolts, and two, because I'm getting a new one anyway. You can get a kit where, oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Why is that already pulled over? Oh golly gee. That did not just freaking happen. What happened? The last just freaking snapped. It snapped? I'm not making this up. This happens when you zip tie your freaking quick release. God dang it. Oh yeah, I was gonna take the grill out. Yeah. Luckily it's like 4 screws. Okay, well luckily most of them are broke, so that's what the bells are. Okay, so don't shut the hood anymore. All right, so somebody had the actual cable zip tied to the release. Luckily, you can get these grills out super easy and you can just pop them off by hand. What we kind of decided to do is, instead of wasting our time taking the transmission out of this when we're not sure if we need to, we were told that the front seal of the transmission was leaking, but we took a look at it and there's no fluid on the torque converter, which would mean that it's actually leaking. So we're assuming that they broke bolts off on the torque converter because on the flywheel the holes are elongated as if they broke. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna bolt the torque converter and see if the transmission fluid pan is leaking, because there's a bunch of drips and whatnot on it. So we're gonna do that to save ourselves a bunch of time and eliminate a bunch of variables. So, would you stop?
I'm trying to get it to dim.
Hold it down. Oh God. Okay, so. Okay, so bad news. First of all, the transmission, the torque converter bolts broke off in the torque converter, so I can't get that bolt in any of them. Yeah, that's not good news. Bad news is the transmission has to come out no matter what. So let's just go ahead and do that.
Really, it's bad news and bad news.
Yeah, there's no good news. Whoa, please do not. Not right now, not right now. Hold on. I'm stuck.
A running board is not going to kill you.
Hold on, don't get in there yet. Hold on. I'm stuck. Okay. So this morning I just went and picked up the dually tires for the truck. And boy, does she look thick. Nice and thick. I might take this running board off on this side, because if you come around here, boy, does she look thick. God almighty. These bars need to come off here. They're like bolted on. Not a big deal. But what we're here for is, got a new battery in it, and we're gonna see if she won't turn over for us and run. There's some pumps. That fired right up.
I cut it. You don't want that to get too hot down there for us.
Holy crap, that sounds good.
Ready to see this unit?
I just had it running. Dude, it fired right up. I just got the dualies on it. Dude.
Sam, stand by the hood real quick.
That's about as tall as you are. It's about as wide as you too.
Little few cracks. But look at the seats though, there's like no tears on them.
Dude, it's super comfy. I found out what was wrong with the torque converter.
Yeah.
So we got under it and he kept making the point that the torque converter was spinning.
It spins and it's dry.
And I was under there and I was like, why are the holes in the flywheel wired out? And I'm like, I think the bolts broke. And then I talked to Bryce today, he's like, Yeah, I was drag racing it, and all of a sudden it just revved to the moon. I was like, okay, they officially broke. That's what the problem was. I'll put them about right there. You want me to do it? Bounce test? Freaking tear this thing out of here.
Oh wow, nothing really came.
Wow. Actually, you know what you can do? Nope, we gotta use the clay bar. Alright, so we got the drive shaft out, or the back half. Hunter is down there doing trans. You doing the cross member?
Yeah, well, I'm unbolting it from the cross member.
Yeah, the bolt underneath it. Okay. And Sam's over here being cleaner boy.
It'd be nice
Because, you know, every Asian, usually they're the housekeepers and stuff. And it's like the room service lady.
Yeah, basically.
Alright, here's the problem we're running into right now. Alright, Sam, go ahead and hop in there while I'm on the thing. That's cool. So these bolts on the bottom of the cross, or the top of the cross member, they come down through the top of the frame. As you can see, the cab is about sitting on the top of the frame. So we are not getting those bolts out of there, which means this cross member's not coming out. So I think what we're gonna have to do is just make it so we can just pull the the transmission down from the front and slide it out from over top of this. Kind of sketchy, but it's about all we're gonna be able to do, honestly. And you can see here where that hole's a little bit wallered out, and you can see scraping marks where the torque converter just scraped on the flywheel. Oh, that sounds so bad. All the lines are off. Here in a second, we're gonna unbolt the transmission and finagle it out from over top the cross member. So we're gonna see if it won't fall. Tech tip number 1, don't do this. Find the right tool, find a long wrench. We're gonna use a breaker bar to get this transmission boy out. I guess it's not really that bad of a thing to do. It's kind of greasy. All the transmission bolts are out. It only took me an hour and a half to get these top 2 out. This big block is so freaking close to the firewall that you gotta double wrench it and everything. Here in a second, I'm gonna crawl under there and start lowering the front end down. I might have one of you help me with this. I'm not quite sure what I need to do.
Oh.
Oh!
What?
No way.
What?
So remember how we said them torque converter bolts broke?
Is it one of them? The broken one? Oh yeah. Whoa. I see a torque converter emerging.
Hold on, before we do that, let's start filling the other torque converter with fluid.
We need to get American Detour wrap, dude.
I'm gonna get one, American Detour on the side between the 2 doors.
Ew.
It's like right there. Hey there, hi there, ho there. It's the next day of the build, and we got the transmission completely dropped underneath the truck and the torque converter out, and it was a complete pain in the butt. And it created a bloodbath, so that's a good time. So anywho, let's take a look-see underneath the truck here. Here we are. All right, so this is the new to me torque converter, and luckily it's the right one. It's gonna work, and it's gonna fit in there just dandy like. This other one, I can't flip it over because there's fluid that go everywhere. But on the front side of it, when it wasn't spinning the transmission, it just spun in there and it just rounded out the front of the torque converter. Hopefully and luckily, it didn't really destroy this too much. Or really do much anything, really. Upon inspection, it leaks a lot because it needs a new pan gasket, but that's not a big deal. Where it leaks the most is out of the dipstick tube because there was never an O-ring on it, but that's all right. I have a spare dipstick that I can stick in there. That's no problem. I'm gonna put this back in there for now. From what I heard from Bryce, the guy who owned it for me, this transmission was good shape. it functions good. So we just drove a total of 6 hours to get panels. We got 2 front fenders for the truck because those are rusted out. And then we got a hood, all from Summer Racing, Auto Metal Direct, that's what they all are. And I don't think I paid anything over $400 for all this sheet metal because both fenders are rusted out on the bottom. They're going through, pretty beat up. The other ones, and he bought an air cleaner, a t-shirt, and a hat. So now we're gonna finish up putting the transmission into it and see if we can't get it at least almost all the way done tonight. These exhaust pipes luckily are so welded on there so horribly that we just bent them like almost completely out of the way so that we can get the transmission between them and we can stick it up there way easier than before. Because right now there's like hardly any room for the transmission to get between the 2 exhaust pipes, but there is now because we moved them. We just spent the last hour or so putting the transmission in. The biggest problem was just trying to get it angled right. And then once we got it angled right, it slid right on the dowel pins. Then we just ran it in with the bolts. And so all we gotta do is bolt it the rest of the way up, do the torque converter bolts, and then put in our two-piece drive shaft, and then we'll be all right. Alrighty folks, this is day number 3 of working on the C30, also known as Rooster. So what we got done with it so far is that we got the transmission up and bolted in, we have the cross member in, bolted in, and all we have to do now is bolt in the torque converter and then put in the 2-piece drive shaft. So we're almost done with getting this thing running and moving again. I have to put in the shifter linkage. We'll be done with this thing, and I'm so excited to get this thing running and moving because I've never seen this thing drive before. So this is taking a lot longer than I imagined it would, but due to drawbacks and things like that, hopefully I'll be able to get it done today. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started, start hammering this thing out, see if we can't get it done today. Yes, I'm dipping pouches. Sue me. I don't care. I just got off a long cut, all right? I'm downgrading. All right, first thing that needs to be done is this cross member has to be swapped around 180 degrees because I didn't realize the offset of the transmission and the cross member here. And the bolt holes don't exactly line up with the transmission. So I think if I swap or turn this around the other way, it'll fit in right. So we're gonna give that a try, see what happens. So a little update, all the transmission, cooler lines, the torque converter bolts are all bolted in. And so the only thing I need to do is hook up the drive shaft and then we should be good to go. I got the dipstick tube in, which is a lot easier than I thought it was gonna be. I thought it was gonna suck a lot, but it wasn't too bad. I do have a vacuum line to put in, but that's not a big deal. And then after that, we should be ready to go. We're getting ready to start it up. The dipstick is just above full, so we're gonna run it real quick, just for a second, and then stop it and make sure it's not leaking everywhere. And then after that, then we're gonna run it and fill it up and everything as we go, make sure it's completely full and go from there. Not leaking! That genuinely surprised me, it's not leaking at all. Looks like it's lower than before, but I'll have to double check that in a second. All right, that's a good sign. That means it's probably, hopefully, throwing fluid in the torque converter like it's supposed to be. We finally have the truck completely back together, just about. The brakes are a little iffy, but we're gonna give her a go and see if she'll actually drive. Pray for us, let's see what happens.